All right, so I wanted to hop on today and just give you guys an update as to what is going on with the universe right now. So, first things first, I'm definitely gonna be channeling through some messages for you guys. But knowing, as I've talked about, there are massive, massive shifts taking place. But this week, especially, you're probably experiencing some pretty like vivid dreams. Like, my dreams the last few nights have been so vivid and just like crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, the messages that are coming through, the different things that are happening, like you're really doing a lot of work in your sleep state right now. So being aware of that, you're not going crazy. You're just like, there's messages coming through. The portals, how I see it is it's like there's different, like, I guess they're showing me a visual. So this visual really is like, think of like if there was a door that covered the entire earth, like the atmosphere. And when the doors would open, that's when messages would come through from your guides, from your angels, whatever. Like, I just feel like there's so many doors right now opening up, which is really just portals of energy that's coming into the planet, and it's making your connection to your guides, to your angels, to your spiritual teams like a million times easier. So knowing your intuition is really, really strengthening right now. It's like at a very exciting time. But what's happening too is it's like I kind of see it like we're flipping through different like films in our minds and our bodies. It's like a very fast pace switch right now. We're just like going and going and going, and you're going to experience like a wide range of emotions right now. So you might be feeling like super excited one day and then even just 10 minutes later you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel horrible, my world's ending, like whatever. And then the next day you feel totally fine again, and then the next day it's like all your fears from the past are coming back up that you thought you already worked through, and then the next day you're super angry. So pay attention to this because it's just your body's way of working through these energetic frequencies that have been stored within your body. So an important message for right now is really giving yourself grace, really honoring yourself during this time, honoring what you're feeling, honoring what's coming through for you, because it's a really beautiful and such an important part of your journey right now. Because as I've talked about, you are leaving this quarantine time a different person than who you were when you entered it. So right now, like loud and clear, like I feel like you're like screaming this into my mind, is making sure you are no longer avoiding or ignoring your emotions. It is now time to start to face your shadow, which you're already doing, is what they're showing. Like you're already getting like little glimpses of the things that maybe you don't love about yourself, or maybe those situations that you've really been trying to shove down and shove down and shove down. It is coming up now. Like there's no more running, there's no more hiding. This week you're doing a lot of work in the sleep state, so it's becoming easier. It's because when you're in that sleep state, you're accessing that higher aspect of yourself, so it is easier for you to work through these different things, to move through these different things. But at the end of the day, there is that physical piece as well, and like you need to work through it on a physical level because that's that closest layer to you. So however you can do that to just get it out. Maybe you need to cry, maybe you need to do like a deep like meditation, or maybe you need to do intense workouts. Like listen to your body. Maybe you need to vent to your friend, maybe do a ceremony, like write it on paper. What are you wanting to release? Burn it. This is the time to do that, because what's happening is our hearts are opening up. So as your heart is opening up, you're opening to that pure love frequency, and that's a really beautiful thing, right? But anything that's not in alignment with that pure love frequency must be cleared, and it must leave. So think of it almost like if, like, some of you are probably gonna think this is a gross reference, but think of like popping a pimple, right? Like it's kind of uncomfortable, or it might even hurt when you're first trying to like pop it, but then once it releases, maybe you don't literally feel better, but it's like your skin can breathe again. It's clearing something that needs to be released. So think of your heart that way. It's like some of this that's coming up, it might be uncomfortable, and your chest might be a little bit tight. You might be a little bit anxious. You might feel emotions. But once it's released, it's like 10,000 pounds released from your chest. So it's very, very important right now to just check in with yourself every single day. How am I feeling? What's going on? Why do I feel this way? What's coming through for me? What do I really need today? What do I want? Listen to your body, because your body is trying to talk to you. Your body now is like, finally, like, listen. I've said this before too. You can only watch so many Netflix shows until you start to get bored, until there has to be something else to do. You have no other choice but to face your thoughts, face your emotions right now. It can be a very scary thing. but it's a very beautiful thing as well. So that's really important right now. But what's also happening is because of this, we're seeing some massive polarities going on right now, right? We have been really, and I'll be honest, it's like these massive polarities have really been starting ever since the election in 2016. We've been experiencing extreme polarity. So we can look at this in a bad way. We can look at this as the world, like our country is so horrible, it's so divided. But we can also start to look at this and how can we find the balance? Because this is teaching us polarity, whether you love the government right now or you hate the government right now. It is causing us to really focus on those two different ends of the spectrum. And, like at the end of the day, there's good and there's bad to both sides. And it's a matter of us coming together for the highest good, which is of love and light, right? Because if we're so far in love, you're not going to be learning the lessons you need to be learning. But if you're so far in, like, I hate the government, or I hate my job, or I hate this relationship, I hate this person, you're not leaving any room for joy. And what good does that do for anyone either, right? So it's a matter of now, how can we come together? How can we say, you know what, enough is enough? And what if what if this coronavirus isn't necessarily a bad thing like we are making it out to be, where the media, everybody is making it seem like it's this horrible thing. But what if we start to shift our perspective and see it for all the good it's trying to do for us? It's teaching us to come back together, right? We've been so divided, and this is a huge thing, a crucial piece that is helping us to pivot and helping us to see each other as humans once again, and to treat each other with respect, treat each other with love. So that's something that's really important right now. Those of you who are still super resistant of this, super resistant of letting go of the need to be right and letting go of that anger. Why? What are you trying to hide? This is a very hard question to ask yourself. But as I've said, being on a spiritual journey is not always easy. You have to face yourself, and you have to start to face your shadows. Why do you feel like you need to hold on to this so tightly? Why are you allowing this situation, this person, this past experience to affect you to the point it's taking over every moment in your present, right? Like, start to face those deeper traumas, those deeper emotions, so you can clear them. Because at the end of the day, if you are so stuck in, I need to prove a point, and I need to be stubborn, and I need to hold on to grudges, and I need this, and I need that, all that's doing is you're allowing your ego to win. And what good is that doing? Because I can promise you, you don't feel good. No, it does not feel good to hold on to those things, right? All that's doing is holding you back, and it's holding the planet back. This is now time to start to wake up. And now, it doesn't mean you need to let people walk all over you. It doesn't mean you need to welcome certain people back into your life that maybe you don't want in your life. It doesn't mean that you need to just like give, and like whatever. But what it does mean is to let it go. Let go of the anger, let go of those heavy emotions. And how it starts is by like reflecting. Self-reflection right now is so important. And the longer you resist it, the more uncomfortable it's going to get, and the more unhappy you're going to be. And you're going to find roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, because we have come back down to the earth now to face these things, to learn from these different lessons and these different experiences, and help us to journey back to our truth. And that is of love and of light. So the more we can become aware of that, the more we can acknowledge that, the easier it's going to be. It's like letting go of that control, right? We're in that state of like, we have no other option but to surrender. So surrender and welcome in that best case scenario. What if I did free myself from this? Because it's like you're keeping yourself trapped behind closed bars. What if you just let it go? What would happen? How would you feel? How would it liberate you, right? Allow your heart to be freed. It's not doing yourself good or anyone else any good to be holding on to the fact that I need to prove this point, or I need to hold on to this, I need to like show them, or whatever it might be, right? Now is the time to let it go. And honestly, if you want me to be honest, I don't feel like this whole coronavirus is going to go away until enough of us start to wake up to this, right? And this isn't an easy thing to do. Our ego resists this. But on Easter, that was something that was really powerful that came through for me, was starting to think about like, what would Jesus do in these situations? How would he handle this situation? And it doesn't mean you have to be Christian or Catholic or whatever. It's more of him being that master, that great teacher of that pure love, forgiveness, acceptance energy, right? How would he see that situation? How would he act? How would he treat that person? How would he be living? Right? When we can kind of take ourselves for a second out of our body and just like, well, what would Gabriella do? Well, Gabriella would do everything she's always done, right? But start to like separate yourself from that just for a minute to allow your mind to process this. And it'll be a lot easier for your mind to be like, well, Jesus would do this. So then your ego or your human self is going to be more like capable of doing that. Or it's going to be easier for you to be like, okay, well, you know what? I am going to let that go. Or you know what? I'm going to stop posting about these things. And you know what? I'm going to forgive this person. I'm going to reach out to this person, right? Like, because that's what he would do. So it just becomes easier when you start to add that perspective to things. And it's just going to make things clearer for you because your heart is really trying to open up right now. And the more you can just go with it, right? Just go with it, allow it to happen, the more you're journeying back to yourself and your truth as well. And that is a pure love vessel. And that's what's coming about on earth. So knowing some of this stuff might seem uncomfortable, some of this stuff might seem scary, but we're just shedding the light on the things that need to be changed, the systems that need to be changed, the ways of being, the ways of acting, right? These things are starting to change. We are kind of having to take that step back to recalibrate the systems, to really reprocess things, think about how we want these things to go moving forward, and how can they become the greatest, most aligned systems or processes or ways of being most aligned with love, right? This is the question to start to ask yourself in all areas of your life right now. What is most in alignment with love? How can I act from that place of love? How can I serve the world in the greatest ways today? And the more you start to probe those questions within you, the more you're going to set yourself free. So they want you to be aware of this week, knowing the more you choose love, the freer you're going to be and the quicker this process is going to go. This is us journeying back to who we truly are, going off of my post yesterday, becoming aware of these things. We are becoming who we truly are meant to be, and that is that pure love and light vessel within us. Not all the masks. Take off the masks, take off the layers, take off the people, the old ways of being that may be holding you back or keeping you in this unfavorable reality, and start to think about, who am I? Who is Gabriella? Who is she? Who is her truth? And start to ask yourself those questions about yourself. Who am I really? What do I really want? And you know what? At the end of the day, all we really want is love, is acceptance, is peace and harmony. But so many of us are acting from triggers and wounds and traumas. And so the more you can start to process these things, the quicker you're going to get through it. And the easier it's going to be to just be like, you know what? I'm letting it go. You know what? I'm moving forward. You know what? I'm choosing to create a new way of being. The more we can become that vessel of love, the quicker everyone around you is going to start to shift and wake up, the quicker the world's going to start to shift and wake up. It's such a beautiful time. You're probably feeling intense energies right now, and that's okay. Ride that wave of emotion, but you're going to get through this. And as you're getting through this, you're journeying back to who you truly are. So do the things that you can right now, because we are home. We are being forced to come back to ourselves and knowing things are going to be different. It might not happen immediately, but there's going to be some massive changes. Like so many different things that my team have been showing me of like geographical changes, like just different things going on in the governments, not just in the US, like all over, different like systems with money, with the way we treat people, just our physical bodies are changing and upgrading. So knowing this is a very pivotal time, and I can't emphasize that enough. So the best and most important thing you can do right now is really work on yourself, work on processing these things, because what it's going to do is raising your energetic frequency, which is then going to assist the entire world. It's lifting that heavy weight to be transmuted back into that higher frequency. So important. Honor yourself. You are doing such a beautiful job. You signed up for this before coming down to earth. You are an end time player and you are here to assist. We are already going through the ascension. We are coming back to love. We are coming back to harmony. Things are getting better, even though it may seem scary. Come back to your truth. How do you really feel? Forget about what the media is trying to feed you, the distractions, the fear tactics, all of it. Forget it. Those are just illusions that they're trying to continue to control you. How can you come back to peace? How can you come back to love? And how can you just be? How can you feel the best you possible? So just start asking yourself these things. And like I said before, if you want to dive deeper in all of this, I am here to serve you in soul activation sessions, but also I have my package Ascend with Ease, which has literally been created for this channel through me to help you during this time to navigate through all these shifts. So it's filled with 6 beautiful healing and soul activations, which are going to help you to reinstate a new energetic and physical body, but also help to align you with that greatest aspect of yourself. So it's really going to help you move through these shifts like a million times easier while harnessing and anchoring in who you have come here to be on earth. It's a very powerful series and I'm so excited to be able to share that with you guys. So if you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're on YouTube, I'll put the link below, and same thing with on Facebook. So if you have any other questions, always feel free to reach out to me. But knowing you're exactly where you need to be in this present moment, everything is happening for you and for the highest good of the collective. There are so many ships and so many beings that are coming in to support us right now. We're more supported right now than maybe you could even think. It's just your ego trying to keep us separate. So just reminding yourself of that. We are one with love. We are all in this together and we are all going to get through this together. And when we get through this, the world's going to be a much better place. So I'm sending you guys so much love and so much light. Hope you're having an amazing day. And if there's anything else I can do to support you, always feel free to reach out to me.